All right, so now we have to kind of break down that static posture position, whether or not you can get into it or not, and then start to figure out what some of the limitations might be. Sometimes it's actually pretty simple, other times not so much. So again, first thing we're gonna look at, static posture. Can you get into this position? Up against the wall, good overall posture. Can you at least get to this position? That's the first step. So let's say that goes pretty well. But we're going to be overhead pressing. So now you have to be able to get your arms up over sort of above shoulder height to do the exercise. Can you get into this position? That's going to be the next step. So statically, can we do one? Can we do the other? And if you cannot, then what I'm going to have you do is, if you struggle up against the wall to bring your arms into this position, what I want you to do is I want you to lay on the floor, either at home, whatever, and then can you do this laying on the floor? Okay, so that's going to look like this picture right here. Okay, sometimes called the floor slide, but I want you to see, can you get into that position laying down? If you cannot do it standing, but you can do it laying down, what does that mean? Well, it's more of a positional thing. So when you're lifting your arms up like this, when you're standing, you're going up against gravity. So that means there's more muscular sort of constraints, could be some joint stuff. But if you lay down and all of a sudden your arms can go all the way flat, then joint restriction is pretty much taken out as a potential limiting factor, and it's purely muscular. When you lay down, you're in more of a gravity assisted position. Gravity is pressing down on you when you're laying down. If you can get into that position much easier, then it shows that, okay, so you can get there, joints are not restricted, muscles they have assistance laying down, they've got more resistance when you're standing up. So it's more muscular movement, not joint restriction. So that's a very important distinction when we're looking at your setup in terms of your static posture. So let's say you're limited getting the arms against the wall standing, you lay down and you're still limited. The forearms do not get flat to the floor when you're laying down. What does that mean? Well, now this means you probably in some capacity have some sort of a joint restriction somewhere in the shoulder. Could be thoracic spine, could be scapular related, could be the glenohumeral joint. You have a lot of options at that point. But what it basically means is you're going to need some help from somebody else to loosen things up and to get you in a position where first you can be here on the floor, then hopefully get you close to being here up against the wall. But you're probably going to need a little bit of assistance, a little bit of guidance to get through if you find restrictions both in standing and when you lay down flat.